I'm astonished by how good that D104 sounded. That's the one with the JFET mod to it, right?
I think it is. Of course. So that's what I was. I just wanted to make sure there's no misunderstanding. That was the first mic I was on, a D104. And you liked it?
Yeah, hell yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, that's it. Go right into the front of the radio. You don't know nothing. Yeah. So yeah, well, this is the Innovonics and the SO7, and yeah, I usually use the D104 on this because the D104 I like it on the sideband because I could use Vox. The Vox doesn't work when you go into the back of the radio. And the Innovonics and that stuff puts out way too much voltage to go into the mic jack. That's why I go into the back. And yeah, I'm just having a couple peanuts here and what have you. I think everything's tuned up okay. And that's it. So the old 706. Anyway, you're coming in great. There's no static or anything. And we're going to have pretty dry weather, I think, throughout most of the week. W2SDR.
Yeah, it looks like pretty good weather all week. Definitely. I guess, and beautiful weather as well. It's going to be in like the mid-70s all week, which is going to be freaking cool, man. I'm so ready for winter. I don't know about you. I know you are. You know what I've noticed, Dad? The older you've gotten, the more you like snow. I've definitely noticed that. Or the more you enjoy the winter and the colder weather, which I don't blame you. And I have kind of become that way as well. You know, I kind of when I lived down south, it was like I had to embrace the heat, you know, and it was like, okay, I might as well enjoy the summer, you know, since I gotta be in this mess. But now that I've been back up here for 10 years, it's back to I like the winter. I want snow. I want all of it. Man, you still haven't used that snowblower. Maybe you used it once, but as far as I know, you haven't used that thing. And you think and I know you started it, and you know, and kept it up, but yeah, I don't know if you've like really used it. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. Anyway, sounding good over here, man. Really good. 718 is sounding fantastic, and yeah, the good old 706, man. That frickin' thing. Oh, there we go. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna unhook it tonight and put it on the bench, you know, and mess with it. I'm not gonna, you know, start ripping things apart by any stretch of the imagination, but we'll get it. Like I read that part in the manual about it. It's just like 3 diodes. That's it. And then it goes into like low pass filter. So can't be too much. So like you said, I would put my money on a bad connection of some sort, you know. But I don't think hopefully it's not anything too serious. I don't think it is. So back to you. W2SDR, W3MMR.
Well, it could be one of those diodes. You know, you can poke around with that signal generator, you know, and go past it, you know, in the circuit or what, you know. So, you can do that. But, one of the reasons why I like snow better now, Curry, is because I don't have to work. I mean, snow was nothing but a pain to me. Whenever it would snow, all them years at the hospital, I had to respond and work and make sure it was this. It's been nothing but trouble. I mean, I'm so happy that I can enjoy it and not have to work with it. Not have to work steering. Because it's horrible. So weekend, you're out there with your friends or something. Oh man, it's gonna snow, and then you gotta make sure you're rested and go in, and it's just Adam Daces. No Rubio come there. Yeah, now I can enjoy it. Last year I used the snowblower twice. Yeah, twice. I mean, I didn't need to use it because the trucks that were going out in it, but it worked, and it worked great. Something about it, though, that's surprising. I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, how to do it, like where to start. I figured that the best way is go right down the middle, and then blow it one way, and then when you turn around, blow it the other way, and just keep, going over, starting from the center out, and it worked pretty good. Oh, yeah, it worked great. Started right up. No problem, and it was good, man. I'm looking forward to doing it again this year. I ran all the gas out. So we wouldn't run into that problem, again with the carburetor and all that, the clean, So it's all drained out until it's shut down. And then I'll put gas in it. I only put enough gas to do a couple of times. So I'll fill it up, because at the end of the year, if I don't use it or want to use it a little bit, I only have to drain out, or I only have to let it run a little while until it empties out. W3MMR, W2SDR.
W2SDR, W3MMR. Well, that's pretty cool. I just completely lost train of thought. I did something. Oh my God. I'm sorry. What were you just say that last sentence again?
The last sentence. I don't know. No, the snowblower. I said, I only put enough gas in it to use it a couple of times, and then at the end of the year, I can run it dry, without having to let it run for 5 hours. There's no drain on that tank, so that's what I said.
Oh, okay, that's right. I remember you doing that. I remember that whole situation now. And and now I remember that you did it twice. Man, I got a terrible memory, Dad. It's like, I wonder why. But yeah, well, that's cool. But I was thinking about last year, man. I should get a snowblower for my driveway because it's so long. But my little Toyota Camry, man, kicks butt in the snow. That thing just right through it. What we have, 8 inches to 9 inches them 2 snowstorms we had last year. So I didn't need one. If I can help it, I don't want to have to get one, because I only have a little sidewalk out front that I shovel, and if I get, if we get feet of snow, number one, I'm not going to be going anywhere, and number two, I'm sure that I could find someone, I can network through my friends to find somebody to run a plow over here. But there is somebody, now that I think of it, Dad, that has a plow for, like a homemade plow for a lawnmower. And I have my my little lawn tractor, and I could put that thing on there, man, make a couple brackets with my welder, bolt that sucker on there. The only thing I would need is wheel weights, and chains, but that would be pretty cool. But I don't think I need to go that route, because the amount of snow we get is minimal at this point in time. So anyway, man, really good hearing you. Good copy. Thanks for all the help today. And I was hoping to get over there this weekend, but it just didn't work out. So maybe I can get over there next weekend to see you. I'm trying to get over there more, and I enjoy coming over there. I hope you enjoy having me. W2SDR with a big, that last transmission didn't have a big signal, but you kind of got a big signal. W2SDR, W3MMR.
Yeah, okay, let me yeah, it's about 200 watts of carrier there. And I'm peaking up about 1,200, something like that, times over a kilowatt. I'm going to run upstairs and refresh my cocktail. I'll be giving you about 3 minutes, okay?
Yeah. Sure, there was somebody else that was trying to break in, so I'll pick it up with them, and I'll see you back. You'll see you back here in a couple minutes, Dad. Who is that breaking in or trying to break in? W3MMR. Yeah, hey Gordon, you got like no audio, man. Very, very low audio. Let me see if I can pick you up on the WebSDR. Come back again, Gordon.
Yeah, something's wrong here. I've got to find out what happened to the audio. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, okay. Your signal came up quite a bit, and the audio was a little better. It might be a little bit of a combination with band conditions, but I've definitely heard your audio a little bit louder and more punchy than that. So, but nevertheless, good evening to you, Gordon. Good to hear you.
Yeah, thanks. Good to hear you too. Not sure what happened here with the audio, but we're looking at the mod monitor, and it's a bit strange. Don't know if there's something wrong with the transmitter here. Hope you're doing well, Perry. I'll be fixing it as we speak. And I think Frank was in there too, but couldn't copy him locally. Not sure what's going on with the band, but I guess it's still early. Let's see here. I think we're making a little bit of headway. All right, back over to you, Perry. Hope you're doing well.
I'm back.
Hi, hey Pop. Welcome back with the fresh cocktail. Gordon, yeah, it's definitely improved. It's a little rough on the edges. Not really exactly clean. Or as clean as I've heard you. But it's definitely, the modulation has come up. Your signal's come up quite a bit. You're about 20 to 25 over S9. So really good to hear you. I hope you're feeling well. And big signal tonight. Back to you, Dad. What kind of cocktail are you sipping on this evening? My cocktail is a vape pen from a dispensary. W2SDR, W3MMR.
Hey, Gordon, what's going on? How you doing, W2SDR? Haven't talked to you in a while. And, no, it's my usual bourbon on the rocks, Woodford Reserve. It's about 94 proof, I guess. On the rocks. That's very simple. No mixers, no shaking, stirring, nothing. That's what it is. So, yeah, good evening there, Gordon. Sitting here and sipping a cocktail on my little Japanese radio, my little Icom 718, and my amplifier, and that's what I'm using here tonight. So, coming in good, both you guys about 20 over. There's some dips though. The band's still trying to figure out what it wants to do. A couple of dips a little bit below it, maybe around S9, but back up again, no problem. Over to you, Gordon. This is W2SDR in a group.
All right, Frank, good to hear you. Yeah, not sure what happened. I haven't really changed anything since last night. Maybe something's a little goofy with the transmitter here. I haven't changed anything, but I can see the audio has come back up, and I can see the negative peaks are back up too. So I don't know what to chalk it up to. Anyway, hope you enjoy your cocktail. Sounds good. Yeah, that's one of my favorite drinks. Don't drink too much, but I can't, but sounds good. I wouldn't mind a Macallan on the rocks. Go ahead, Perry.
Yeah, okay, Gordon. Yeah, man, much better. You sound much, much better. Real clean now, too. Very, very clean. Big signal. I don't know if you are either running a bit of plating or reverb, just a tad, or if that's the room noise. But it sounds really good. It sounds really good, so good to hear you, man. And I wonder, hopefully you figure out what it is. It seems to be the problem has seemed to have gone away, but hopefully you find out what it is so you can permanently fix the issue, you know. And I'm running about 275 watts of carrier this evening, and I hope it sounds okay. So back over to you, Dad. W2SDR, this is W3MMR.
Okay, Perry and Gordon. New radio equipment here, new Flex radio, 8600, and the Genius XL amplifier, the Genius tuner, and the Genius antenna switch. Excuse me, went for the whole 9 yards. Well, I originally wanted the 6600, but then I found out that the people that went to Dayton said they're coming out with a whole new model. So I canceled my order. I called them. I said, can we switch the order to the 86 when it comes out? No problem. And it was a bundle, too, so I had gotten a deal on that combination, the radio, a power supply, a VFO knob, a couple of other odds and ends, and at a cheap price. So they transferred it right over to the new model. That's supposed to be out. They say the third week of September they're going to start shipping them. So I don't know where I am on the list, how many people that are waiting, so we'll see what happens with that. I think the amp and stuff is in stock, so I just ordered it on Friday, so maybe it'll come like in a week, at least part of the stuff. So that's looking forward to that. So you're Class E, right, Gordon? That's what you usually use, that transmitter, right? W2SDR. Go ahead, Gordon.
All right, very good, Frank. Yeah, it's the Class E QIX thing here. I'm just wondering what's going on here. I'm seeing the negative peaks changing. Yeah, I'm aware of that little reverb effect. Pretty funny. What that is, you've got some good ears there. That's the heat sink acoustically transmitting my high frequencies, my pre-emphasis. Yeah, sounds like Radio Moscow. I was doing my imitation of that last night. Welcome to Radio Moscow. Back to you, Perry.
How about that? It's the heat sink in your rig, in your transmitter. Yeah, that's one thing I do know that I have is a good ear. I was blessed with a good ear, and I got that from my father. There's, well, better than anybody, Gordon, I'm sure, with your music and producing background and production background, that you see these $1,000 speaker wires, speaker cables, and $25,000 audio amplifiers and things like that. Well, some people say, oh, it doesn't make a difference. That stuff doesn't make a difference. Well, to some people it does. It really makes a difference. Just like I was just over my father's recently, and he has a beautiful set of speakers. a pair of IMFs, and the difference between those speakers and just another set like my Bose 301s, you know, is astonishing. The difference. I mean, it really is. It really is astonishing. And a lot of that has to do with the audio amplifier that he was using over there, and in combination with the speakers. But point is that stuff, you know, can make a difference. So anyway, whatever you did, Gordon, you fixed it. I'm on my non tonight, my 7000 DLE. Of course, Daddy just sold his and is getting the whole Flex set up, which is awesome. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to try it. So hopefully you get it soon. I don't know if you've gotten any update. I would imagine that maybe you did, since you went ahead and sold the 7000. But boy, oh boy, you got a good radio in the meantime. That's 718, boy. That thing's a workhorse. W2SDR in the group. This is W3MMR.
Yeah, it's a workhorse. No, I just, you know, I figured I had this radio to use, and I'll let the other one go. The Anon, and that was that. So, yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good, the ear thing, and, well, that's true. Just because I can't hear it doesn't mean it's not there. I mean, who do I think I am? Do you know what I'm saying? That's the way I look at it. I'm not the benchmark, you know. Well, I'm going to sign out. I'm going to jump up to 40 and get Brian and Ernie up there. So we'll catch you guys later. Gordon, it's a pleasure. 7-3, Perry. Talk to you guys later. Go ahead, Gordon. W2SDR.
All right, Frank. Good to hear you. Sounding good over here. The reception's not been great here at the new location here in Paramus. I moved from Westchester a month ago. I don't know what it is, if it's just the conditions or what. I'll be keeping my eye on it. It's strange, though. It's been a little bit more extreme compared to the transmitter, the success of the transmissions from here. So I'm not quite sure what that's all about. But maybe it's just conditions in the summer. I don't know. But yeah, I had the Avonix, which is of course great, and I wanted to try to replicate the sound and what it does myself here with some software. So that's what you're hearing. You're hearing Pro Tools and me trying to pretend I am using an Avonix. And that's my chair squeaking in the background. Anyway, yes, the inverted B's up at about 40, 45 feet. Seems to be doing okay. And okay on your Flex. I just looked it up. I didn't realize they were coming out with a new radio. I've been sort of out of it. Real quick, Frank, before you go, and are you 3/4 through with that drink? Where are you? Give us a drink update. Tell me just briefly what this transceiver, the 8600 or 8400 or whatever it is, has versus the old, I guess, what was it? 6000 series. Over.
Oh, he's long gone. When he says he's gone, he's out of here. But Gordon, real quick, hopefully I can answer your question, because I just pulled it up on the website, and I'm seeing if they have anything on here about what features are different with the new one compared to the the 8000 series compared to the 6000 series, Let me see. It's a really nice looking radio. It looks like the 6600. I mean, it looks like the same size, and everything. I know one thing that it can do. Two people can operate the radio at the same time. Like, I could be on 3885, and my dad could be down on 3873, and we could be talking two separate QSOs at the same time. We can't transmit at the same time. However, with the software and that radio, we can have 2 separate QSIS at the same time, and I can do it remotely from here, from my QTH. That's how freaking cool that radio is. And you got that Power Genius amplifier, which is a Legal Limit Plus Plus amplifier. That's completely automated. That antenna switch you got, the Flex antenna switch, is 2 inputs in, 8 inputs out. So you can have 2 separate stations and control the 8 antennas with the 2 separate stations. You know, so I mean it's all, I mean it's as futuristic as it can get, man. It's and you get it, but it's all Apple. I'm an Android user, so it's kind of a bummer. However, like for the remoting, I think you can get Smart SDR on like a Windows PC, but as far as remoting goes, it's all Apple iOS. So there you have it, Gordon. Back over to you. W2GOR, and good on the Pro Tools and the trying to emulate the Inovonics. It sounds fantastic. It really does. I wouldn't have thought that you were on anything different. Maybe if you were doing an A/B comparison, but you sound fantastic, Gordon. I mean, like you always do. So, and the antenna up at 45 feet is definitely working. So, back to you, W2GOR. This is W3MMR.
All right, little pause there. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. You guys are the real pros on here. I'm a newcomer pretty much, so I'm certainly not the big authority on audio here. Songwriter. Learned how to engineer it because I had to. But I owe a lot to Wayne, WA1SSJ, who really built this thing like a tank. One day I'll have to send you a picture of it, and of course Steve, who designed it. So yeah, you know, and it's interesting. You know, the Inovonics has the whole filtering. So if you're looking on your Anon, you'll see like if I put 2 filters at 4.4 kilohertz, now you'll see that things have narrowed a little bit. And still there's a little bit of energy on the outside. It's 24 dB per octave times 2. So it's a lot of, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So there's, you know, 1.5 kilohertz. I can open it up to like 5 with a few filters just to make sure that I'm not going outside of where I want to be. So that's what I'm doing to create a low-pass filter. And I put a de-esser. Without it, it gets a little crispy. Crisp. There you go. See that? So I got rid of that. About 6.2 kilohertz and up. And then the maximizer is a cool thing, because without the maximizer, you can see I've still got some nice compression. I'm still hitting 150% modulation or whatever it peaks, but it's certainly not as loud. And then this is the maximizer on, and yet I'm only at 120% modulation, so it's working. Kind of fine-tuned the milliseconds on that. Yeah, I was just trying to, you know, use a little bit of what I know from audio to apply to radio. So that's the fun part for me. And that radio looks great. I had a 6300 and a 65 and a 67. Went through that whole flex thing, really liked it, but I used to get frustrated with the audio. That's the only thing. So it says here it's supporting adaptive pre-distortion, but it doesn't say anything under it. I don't know if you saw that, but supporting adaptive pre-distortion. Immediately when I thought of your dad, I thought that's the clincher for him, right?
Yeah, because he was big on the pure signal, in the Anons he operates a ton of sideband, much more sideband than he does AM, which is where he went on 40 meters. He went to go for a sideband skid up on like 7138 or something, 7142, up in that area. But they're coming out with it, Gordon. That's why it says that. There's a video on YouTube. My dad sent it to me. I watched it. I'm sure you can. I don't know where it's at, or I'd send it to you, but sure, just a quick YouTube search, you can find it. Like new Flex 8600 or something, and it's like the official Flex video, and they talk about the adaptive pre-distortion and what their plans are with it. They're supposedly coming out with it pretty soon, and I forget how they're going to try to implement it with people who already have the radios. So, but I'm pretty sure it's explained in that video. Obviously, that stuff is not cheap either. You know, it's well over 5 digits, but not well over 5 digits. But you know, you got to figure. My dad, he's selling his amplifier. He's got the RF kit. Okay, and that's a few $1,000s you can get for that. The Anon, he sold that already. And the tuner, he's probably not going to sell his antenna tuner, but if he wanted to, he could, and he'd get recoup money from that. You know, so he's, excuse me, getting back to, you know, close to the, not close, but somewhere, getting some of his money back, you know. So when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, it's really not as, the price tag isn't as big as it seems. So I'll be happy to see him get it. What else I got here? Yeah, you're switching the filters on the waterfall. You know, yeah, it's not like a brick wall like an Anon or using the Innovonics or something like that, but I could see a difference on the waterfall. Not on my waterfall here locally, because you seem to be stronger up at Mike K3 FEFs. You're about 30 to 40 over there, and you're about 20, 15 to 20 over here. So you could see it on the waterfall from the Kiwi, Mike's Kiwi. And you could really hear it when you narrowed it up, like super narrowed it up. But it looked like Gordon, it didn't look like you had any energy past 6 kc, 6.5, I would say. So you got it really reined in, because you know how some guys on here get. I mean, those guys are plus or minus 10, 12, you know. So I wouldn't worry about it, as you sound great and it looks great, and you're in the band pass, as they say. So let's go ahead and I'll send it back over to you for one more, and I'll make a quick one after that, then I'm going to get out of here. I've been doing a lot of radio this weekend. I've been doing a lot of rearranging in the shack and antenna work. I've been experimenting. I got an ICOM 706, and I've been messing with that, trying to get it to work on 2 meters. It does not work on 2 meters, but it works everywhere else. And I had to make an accessory box for the DIN plug, accessory plug on the back, for keying an amplifier, and it's got a detector audio out. It's got audio right from the detector, so I put a jack in the box for that. It's got a line-in port for audio, but unfortunately I was talking to Phil, W2PHL, and he told me that going through the line-in the back goes through the FM pre-emphasis circuit. So it like cuts the lows and boosts the highs. So no matter what you do, it's not going to sound broadcast quality, even though the AM filter is an 8 kilohertz filter, but it doesn't have sharp skirts. It's damn near 10 kilohertz total audio bandwidth wide on AM, which is beautiful for receive. So there you have it, Gordon. Back over to you, and then I'll make another quick one, and I'm out of here. W2GOR sounding great. This is W3MMR.
All right, couldn't copy the other station yet, but good afternoon to you. Yeah, let's see, it's probably the band. The band isn't quite awake yet. But yeah, thanks very much, Barry. Coming from you, you got a broadcast sounding station there for sure. Really nice. And your dad is amazing with that stuff, so that's cool to have a dad who's into that. My father hated this radio stuff. What do you think we're doing? Running the military or Coast Guard here? Get out there and work. What is this ham radio? And he always hated it. That's funny. I'll tell you another story another time about how ironic that ended up being. But yeah, thanks. Yeah, well, I just narrowed it up a little bit more. But it takes 3 low-pass filters, or I guess we call them band-pass filters, or I don't know. They're really like shelves in a way. So 3 shelves is close, and it's just a little energy, like you said, on the edge. So just a couple of compressors, a slow one, a fast one, and the maximizer. I guess you heard that. And a very extensive curve.
This is without any equalization and any preemphasis at all.
And this is homemade preemphasis and EQ. And then I put a little bit going into the transmitter, just a little bit of 4K. And that's it. You have a great day. I did my 3rd move from Westchester to New Jersey today with a friend that had a truck, and then my car, which is packed with stuff, and I'm too lazy to empty it. So, boy, it's been like 6 trips. We're almost there. 1 more trip, and we've got all the gear and mic stands and all that crap. When you have a lot of closets like I had over there, you realize how much stuff is sitting there. So I'm just going to put it on reverb.com and pick up a couple of grand and move on. And okay, on the Flex, I read that. Okay, well, that explains why they didn't go into detail. But, yeah, look, that means that Apache Labs made some noise there. They influenced Flex quite a bit. That's a big accomplishment for that guy, Abi, over there in India. Spoke to him 9 years ago when he first started this stuff, or whenever. But by 200D, 100D, 200D, all those radios. I sold the Anon also. A little concerned about some of the parts they talked about. And I don't know if he could keep it together. It's not easy to source all the parts, and you know the drill. Anyway, won't keep you. Let me let you pick up the other station. I'm going to put the SDR back on. I'm listening to you on SDR Play on a nice little M-Audio 2-way speaker. It sounds fantastic. So thanks for the good words on the audio, and I won't touch it. I'm going to hit Command S for save. Good to hear you always, Perry. Back over to you, and I'll let you pick up the other station while I pull up the SDR. W3MMR, W2GOR.
Good old radio.
I think that was Daryl. Daryl, was that you? W2, KD2 AFL there?
Yeah, it's me. I'm messing around with this, I'm messing around with the, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, okay. I don't have, you're really weak, to be honest with you. Don't really have a great copy. But I hear you in there. What are you doing on this band?
I got lost. I'm lost.
He said he's lost. Man, I was out there today. I was out there on 6 I was cutting it up, Daryl. Anyway, let me stop. I'm going to get ran off of here. Anyway, good to hear you, Daryl. I'm going to get out of here. I got to go get some dinner, and I'm tired. It's been a long day. Been a long weekend, on top of it being a long weekend. You know what I'm saying? So, great to hear you, man. And hopefully I'll chat with you soon. I'll swing the house up your way, and I'll catch you on the other one.
All right, then. I got to get out of here. I'm on my Hello, boys. I got to get out of here. I didn't tune this thing up. I don't want to mess up my
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening to the other station. Let me throw on the WebSDR. Who is that? Who is the other station breaking in?
Harry, it's Will.
boys. Hey, Will. I guess you're on your SDR. I can definitely hear the difference, man. Man, good to hear you, buddy. What's going on?
Well, you know how it is, brother. Trying to get in the rain and stuff. I'll be back weekend after next, but I wanted to fire up and just let you know you're welcome up here. And good to hear you, brother.
All right, VA3JWO, W3MMR. Well, geez, Will, you made my day, man. Really great to hear you, buddy. It's been a long time, especially since we've talked on the air. Really, really good to hear you. I know you got to run, and I'm going to run too. I'm exhausted, man. Like I said, I've been ripping and running all weekend, and I'm going to go to bed nice and early tonight because I got to get up at 5 and go to work. So back to the salty mine tomorrow. So back to you, Will. Tie the ribbons on it, Daryl and Gordon. We'll catch you boys later. Oh, actually, Will, send it over to Gordon, W2GOR, when you get done. There, he did break back in. VA3JWO in the group. This is W3MMR.
Okay there, Perry. Sounds good, man. Have a good evening. Thanks for picking me up. And we'll talk to you again soon. Yeah, I'm on the SDR rig, and I'm on the Henry amplifier as well. We're doing about 400 watts out your way. They're cranking her up full blast. I can't do much more than this. So
You're too close.
have a good evening, buddy. 73. Get some rest. We'll talk to you later. We'll keep in touch. VA3JWO. Over to you, Gord.
Okay, I heard another station testing kind of close there on 3880. So wow, that 5 kilohertz tone in my left ear. Cleaned out some wax there. Yeah, Will, good to hear you. You're coming in nicely here into New Jersey near Paramus. Good signal, great audio. I'm hearing you on the SDR too because the band is still asleep here. But I won't hold up Perry. And Daryl, I couldn't hear you really a little bit, but receive is not great here. Will, if you're hearing me, over to you. VA3JWO, VA3JWO, W2GOR.
Yeah, very good, Gord. W2GOR, VA3JWO. I'm just finishing my supper here. I gotta leave this QDH and go over to another QDH. I only live here part-time, and I'm gonna go back to my apartment for the week. So, anyhow, back to the work QDH anyway, this week as I call it. I won't be back until weekend after next, so you won't hear me until then. But good to hear you in there. I heard Perry in there. I wanted to load up and give a shout. Actually, I didn't even have to load up. Everything was in the same position as it was last night. I was talking to Tim on here for a little bit, so I was able to just flip the Henry on and just verify everything was already in tune. So anyhow, getting it back to my supper here. Good to hear you in there, and sounding good, of course. Yeah, the band's asleep up here. I can't give you any decent signal report, but your audio's doing it for you, same as Perry as well. So have a good evening, and we'll talk to you guys later. This is VA3JWO up here in Murdoch, Ontario.
Okay, Will. Love the way you got that thing EQ'd. 73, enjoy your dinner. Perry, have a good night.
Yeah, see you, Gordon. See you, Will. Will, that thing sounds good, man. And pretty decent signal down this way. So I'm going to be able to copy you locally, no doubt. So really great to hear you, Will, Gordon, the rest of the Good Time Gang. We'll catch you boys later and down the log. 7-3. This is W3MMR QRT.
All right, and Daryl, are you still in there?
How you doing, Gordon? WA1UQM radio.
Hey, WA1UQM from W2GOR. Doing okay. That's Bob, right?
Hey, Jim. Good to hear you. I'm out of here. W3MMR.
Hey, I go by my middle name, Jim. But call me anything, but don't call me late for lunch. I thought I heard Perry's voice in there, too. I wanted to stop by and say hello to Perry. I just came in the ham shack and just fired things up, and I heard your voice, Gordon, and wasn't sure who you were talking with, but I wanted to say hello to Perry.
Hey, Jim. I'm in the background here. I just wanted to jump in and say hello to you, man. Great to hear you, Jim, but I'm going to grab dinner. I can barely keep my eyes open, And we're going to call it an early night tonight. But great signal down here around Philadelphia, Jim. Go ahead.
Well, thanks, Perry. Appreciate it. Say hello to your dad for me, and we'll definitely catch up. We will definitely catch up. I haven't been all that active because 75 hasn't been that great, but I've been spending some time on 40 meters. So let you run. I know you're tired and probably hungry. We just finished eating, and I was just going to go watch the news, and I said, let me see who might be on the radio. And sure enough, it's a little activity, so that's great. Thanks, Perry, for taking the time to say hi. Appreciate it.
Anytime, Jim. It's always a pleasure. Fantastic signal. Great to hear you. And best wishes to you and the missus and the rest of the family. We'll catch you later, Jim. 7-3, Gordon, Will, Daryl, the rest of the Good Time Gang. 7-3, W3MMR.
Yeah, okay. See you later, Perry. Very good. Get some good rest. Yeah, Jim, sorry about that. I have it in my notes here. Stop calling him Bob. It's in the notes, and I didn't check my log. Sorry about that. Yeah, I got that along here with your TLM 103 and your 286 DBX and your MM4 Yorkville. Over.
Yeah, you got it. I'm at a 610 right now. Workhorse. The three things are on the wall: PC 610, landing craft, and military jeep. And I got a big piece of art right here. Unfortunately, it wasn't in the very 1962 BMW. The same undertaking used in the field, as you know. What is it? What's the mixture on Monday, or is I just falling into perfect timing, Gordon?
No, I don't think there's any. I wouldn't know. I haven't been that active for a while, but no, I just happened to come on here and didn't think there were that many stations who were going to be in here at the holiday, but heard the guys in there and wanted to fire up and take a little break from the move from Westchester to New Jersey, which we did part 5 today. Lots of different shifts to bring all the stuff here. How does this sound? I'm using Pro Tools instead of my Navonics. Everyone's saying it sounds good.
Well, you always sound good. If you didn't tell me you were on something different, you probably wouldn't know. My hearing is not what it was. And you always sound fantastic. And Gordon, and by the way, no apologies on the name. That happens a lot, especially when I'm on VX. And the first thing they do when they go to QRZ.com, they see Robert J shows up. And until they read the text. So no problem at all. I answer to both. My son's Robert Joseph, and they call him Bobby. So, as they're saying, call me him, but don't call me late for dinner. No worries at all, Gordon. Good to hear your voice. Yep. Kind of a weird day today. It's just a beautiful day, but, it's kind of like, it's almost hard to believe that August slipped by so quickly, and so did the summer. Already a couple days into September. Wow. And it's been cool here, windy. I got a 10-mile bike ride. I spent a little bit of time before dinner looking at the service manual for the M100C jukebox. I know you were going to ask me how that's coming along. Oh man, there's Gordon, there's a lot of moving parts. I try to not let it get to me mentally. But I'm so tenacious when it comes to one to make sure it's right. I got everything just about where it's supposed to be, but somehow it's getting hung up when you make a selection and it goes into the pickup arm, pulls it up from the magazine and cradles it in the turntable, and the turntable assembly comes up and locks it in place. It plays a complete song, and the micro switch trip arm for the stylus when you purchase, and you finish explaining the problems with moves, that kind of thing, and it gets to the end, it trips back up, and it's supposed to go back into the cradle, and somehow the motor just won't stop. And so it's either dirty contact relay or something like that. I did want to start the capacitor because on the return trip, that record was being transferred back in the cradle. And of course, a little bit more short. But even if I didn't have that, I started manually moving it and it's simple and it doesn't do anything. So it's got to be, I go back and I hit the trip relay manually and hooked it up right away. So it's something electrical, not mechanical. There's so many moving parts. And what's discouraging, Gordon, is when you look at the shop manual and it tells you the different types of pressure for the switches and the distance between the gaps. And I'm not looking for trouble, so I'm not going to go try to calibrate all of this. It can wind up with a real nightmare. So it's something simple, isn't it? Usually the way it goes. W2GOR. WA1UQM radio.
All right, very good. Still hearing me okay there, Jim?
Perfect.
Okay, yeah, there was a little bit of fading, but now you're good. Oh, yeah, that was great to hear about that project that you're doing, and looked into that, too, a little bit here. This is W2GOR. Yeah, it's probably something like that. I was wondering if something like that was going to happen. But you know what? I think when you get it going, you know that feeling, right? It's going to be a super high.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I could feel the highs, and I could also feel the lows. And I want to go someplace in between. But, yeah, it's good. I got to tell you, Gordon, it's been a very challenging and very gratifying in a lot of ways project. And I just can't wait till it's totally finished. So, you know, the selection receiver is all intact, the amplifier is all intact, as I had mentioned before. So, and it didn't do this until I started getting in there and cleaning, so I'm sure when I was oiling all of the moving parts with number 28 SAE according to specs, I'm sure some of the getting some of the contacts and re-cleaning everything. So we'll figure it out. And as I said, stay tuned, and it can only get better, I hope.
Yeah, real good. Are you gaining any respect for the little details that are not so apparent? Is that kind of what's happening? I've noticed that when I don't have any mechanical experience at all, but when I played around with things to try to fix them on my own, I painfully gained experience. I don't think you know much more about electronics, but if you know what I mean, you know, sometimes it looks like just a very simple thing, and you find out that, that's why they put this here, and that's why they put that there. Over to you.
Yeah, one of the guys I talked to in New York, I came across his name from a friend that had his jukebox totally reserviced in Suffield, Connecticut, not too far from here. And he's a car guy, so we became good friends. And I believe I may have told you the story last time we chatted. He hooked me up with this guy, and I did have a chance to meet him because he came out to look at one of his Cadillacs that he had for sale. So we had a chance to talk. So he turned out to be a good resource. So I called him and was telling him some of my anomalies and asked him a bunch of questions. He said, you know, Jim, he said something so obvious it was almost embarrassing. But he was right on. And he said, you know, you really can't fix it. You really can't fix your jukebox until you really know how it works. And I thought it sounds very simplistic on the surface, but if you really dissect what he said. It makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Yeah, I remember you were telling me you ran into him, but that is so true. Yep. And little things around the house that I've tried to fix, I've seen that kind of thing happen. And I've wrecked a few things too. So very cool. Well, I'll be anxious. Maybe next time we speak, you'll have that all running. And that is definitely a cool thing to have, you know, when you have some company over, or your better half, you know, and you also can pop in a different record collection of your own. It's got to be nostalgic, you know. Makes me think of the Fonz and the Happy Days, and it'd be great to put some 50s music and Chubby Checker and James Brown and the Beatles, and you know, even that distortion. You know, remember when I used to play the Beatles records in the 60s? I was 5 years old. I would wear those grooves out with that heavy arm, with that thick stylus. I saw, you know, pieces of the record on my finger when I would rub it on the grooves. Not realizing that that was the music going away as a kid. But I remember at one point I had to put a little weight on top of the arm. And but my point is that the distortion combined with the tubes and the transformers and all that, when John Lennon would yell out something, you know, twist and shout, it would sound even better, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's 45 records in this jukebox, and I didn't take the time to look at the songs. I've been too busy trying to get this thing up and running. I know I cleaned each record individually. I never even bothered to look at who was on the record, either A or B side. But I know there's a lot of Elvis Presley stuff in there too. So yeah, and this is, I think I discussed this with you before, this is the Happy Days model jukebox. It's 1952. They call it the Happy Days jukebox. Kind of thing. That was one of the seats that they were showing for this particular model. Yeah. Let me ask you, Gordon. I have a Gerard turntable downstairs that was mounted in a AM/FM, one of those long rectangular console cabinets. It was given to me a few years ago by one of my clients. And I worked on the AM/FM receiver and amplifier for quite a while. It never really sounded right to me. So I kind of set it aside. And what I like to do is come up with a little amplifier to drive that Gerard turntable so I could listen to some good stereo downstairs in the basement. What would you recommend for like a nice solid state, small, inexpensive stereo type amplifier that I could use to make that Gerard table happy?
All right, W2GOR. Actually, I'm pretty weak in the department, I'm sorry to say. I mean, I had a Carver preamp, and that would go into Macintosh, I think, many years ago. But you're looking for one that does both, right? That has a preamplifier for the photograph cartridge and an amplifier, I presume. I mean, you know, some of the new stuff out there is so good. You know, just the Japanese brands or whatever. You know, the distortion figures on everything out there has gotten so good that it's really a fine line now.
Yeah, W2GOR, WA1UQM. I was going to build up something myself, and I'm saying, you know, it takes a lot of time and work, and it's never going to sound the quality of a solid state. I wouldn't think. I mean, you could use a pair of 807s, you could use, you know, a 12AX7 preamp, and 6226, a pair of them. You could come up with something. you wanted to take the time to build it, but I don't know. I just thought maybe I should just buy one and be done with it. I could think of other things I'd like to build and have more fun doing, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. And it's really not that hard, you know. So you might do something with transistors as opposed to chips?
No, I wouldn't do anything homebrew with transistors. I just don't like working with that small stuff. Tweezers and that stuff. I don't get any rush out of that stuff. If I built up something, it would be vacuum tube. And that I would get some enjoyment out of.
Oh, yeah, like 12AUX. Was it 12AU7? Is that the tube I'm thinking of?
Well, 12AX7 is a pretty good preamp tube. That works good. And there's a pair of 66s and a 6on6s. You can do a stereo type thing. There's a lot of combination of tubes out there that would work well. 6S-on-7 is another nice tube that could be used as a preamp. 6825, a pair of 6825s. They're a pretty nice tube for that purpose. But I didn't know if they made some. I didn't even Google it and look around, but I'm sure there's stuff out there that you could come up with or purchase. Because I'd like to be able to play that turntable downstairs when I go to Sunday, working on other projects. So I do have some feelers out for another jukebox. This one will be for myself. It'll be the same make and model. So if I can come across one that's not too expensive, I already have the experience in here, so it'll make life so much easier. And I'll take a lot of pressure off too, because I'll be able to know what's happening and what I'm actually looking at and looking for to get it up and running. So I have put some feelers out on Facebook and some of the sites on Facebook, and I'm sure something coming out my way. I had a chance to pick up a Wurlitzer. I think I told you last time we chatted, the model 1015. That's a 1946 model, and I probably could have gotten it like for $500. Some of them in stores for as much as $12 grand. But it needed some work, and I think I was so focused on getting the Seaberg up and running, I didn't want to have anything outside my basement, because I figured I would be sticking my nose in that and not focusing on the Seaberg. Plus, I think I discussed with you before, I didn't particularly care for the mechanism in the Wurlitzer. It had a bunch of canisters, and they were the larger size records. What they call it, 78, is that what they are? They were bigger in circumference, and they were all like wrapped in like an aluminum case, stacked, like a bunch of plates stacked up, and the plate would come rolling out, and then the motor would come up vertically, and it would meet the record wherever it came out on the turntable. The motor would come up and grab it, and on. But I didn't care for the looks of that, so that's why I wasn't too excited about buying it. So I let it go. But I got $1,000 for it. With somebody, the guy I had been talking to in New York. So I made some money for her. She was very, very happy about that.
Oh, very cool. W2GOR. And thanks for the good words on the audio too. Yeah, you've done a great job there with your station. It sounds like it's very natural sound. I don't know what transmitter you're using there though. I didn't write it down. Sorry, I forgot. Is that a tube transmitter?
Yeah, this is the BC610. The BC610H transmitter I'm using. Maybe last time we chatted, I probably was on the W813 rate.
Oh, okay, fine. So, from what you were saying, the BC610 was used in the military during the big one?
Yep, that's correct. Yep. And we used dragged it behind the boost stand along with the RTT and all of the other equipment. Not this particular model, because this is built after the war, it's built in 52, but most of those were still used in the military, and mostly in Mars stations after the big one. And it's set up, and my father is, as I told you, he's retired Lieutenant Colonel Annual Signal Corps. So he set up Mars stations pretty much every duty place he was. In Puerto Rico, he was KP4, his call was KP4JG, and he set up the Mars station, KP4 USA. And then he spent 5 years in Puerto Rico, then he went to Cobyhana, Pennsylvania, set up a Mars station there with a BC-610. Then from there he went to Decatur, Illinois, set up a Mars station there. And then in Corpus Christi, Texas, set up a Mars station there. And I don't believe in Corpus Christi you had a 610. I don't know what they were using back then. I forgot. That transmitter's been around a long time. Really worked with. I ripped this one all apart, did a cosmetic restoration on it at Harvard Mills through all of the black cracker paint and autocoating and stenciling. And I did all the interior housekeeping, if you will. Took all of the contacts and wires and cleaned them all up. It looks like it just came out of the crate. But it's all stock audio. There's no audio modifications to it. It is what it is. I'm only using the RE20 in this case. RE20, I'm using the Yorkville with 2.100 TH modulators. And that's the rundown here, Gordon Bud.
And what exactly is the Yorkville? Is that the exciter?
No, the Yorkville is just a regular PA amplifier, MM4, 4-channel amplifier, PA amplifier. I've been using it for years to drive the Contour rig, which uses a pair of 810s. Now I'm using it to drive the line level. It's actually 8 ohms going in, and the 8 ohms coming out of the Yorkville into a matching send from 600 ohms, I think. Line level into to drive the BC-610 Gordon Bud.
Okay, right, that makes sense. So the BC-610 is the transmitter complete, and the Yorkville, the audio. Okay, very good. I remember a friend of mine helped me, this is W2GOR for ID, he helped me build an AM station on 80 meters with a Johnson, I think it was a Johnson Viking, about 100 watts carrier. Forgot which one. I know there's a Valiant and a 500 and a Ranger. I had a Ranger also. This is back 40 years ago. 45 years ago. Wow. And I remember building a Heising system with a big PA amplifier, but it was a solid state Pioneer amplifier, and it just didn't have the right match or the right power. Those meters said 250 per side. It was not what we thought it was, and it was barely fully modulating the Johnson Ranger using maybe it was the transformer that was at fault, but I do remember the difference in the audio was just incredible. Everything sounds loud in your own house, but when you get it on the air, you need a lot of modulation. I put that together with, or actually he did all the work, Chris, W2JBL. He was with me when we put that together. That was a lot of fun. We were young kids in 1980 or so. So that's the last time I played around with tubes and a transmitter. And then my friend gave me that Johnson rig and taught me how to modulate it with a pair of, I think, 811s. And they would glow. We put it on a little wooden thing, and I had to convince my parents that I wasn't going to create a big fire. Over.
Yeah, I know what you mean. W2GOR, WA1UQM. You know, you bring up a call on the past, W2JDL. How is Chris doing? I haven't chatted with him in a long time.
I think he's doing okay. I talk to him from time to time on here, and great guy. He really knows his stuff. I mean, I don't really know anybody more knowledgeable than him with all this stuff, including audio. And he's a good musician too, so he's, he brings that to the mix there. His good ears. So, yeah, his call was, I think, OMH. WA1UQM or W1, I can't remember exactly, but yep, those were the days when AM was a big, I won't say new thing, but it was the thing. All those stations. The one guy that hasn't changed at all is Tim. He's still hilarious with that glossary and the whole thing. I mean, if there's such a thing as branding on ham radio, he's #1 brand. Over.
#1 plus. There's no one that comes in my mind that could replicate Timmy. That's for sure. What a contribution to ham radio, especially when you talk about people that are active and have been active for many, many years. I don't even know if he ever's taken a hiatus where he has lost interest and stepped aside, even after he had the fire up years ago and lost a lot of his equipment. But he's been a staple on ham radio. He was one of the inspirations. I used to listen to him on my father's station in Granby. I used to hear his voice, and I always told my dad, I said, I want to talk to this guy. His voice and his signals, no matter where you are, wherever you were living and whatever you tuned in, you heard Tim. And I just want to talk to him. So that was kind of a driving force. And he's been most helpful. He just sent me a 40-meter pistol for the BC-610. And he's a super nice guy. He's helped so many people in so many ways. I wanted to tell you that, to make a note of it, BC-614, Bravo Charlie 614. If you Google that, you'll see that is the speed jacket that is used with the BC-610.